Hi, retrostitchgaming here, and welcome to our very first top 10. In today's video, we'll be doing a countdown of our all-time top 10 favourite PS1 games. We have limited our list to just one game per franchise. This took a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of debating on both our parts. A very quick disclosure. Everything featured in today's video is completely opinion-based. This is just games we both enjoy and hold in high regard. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
In at number 10 we have Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. In this game, you play as a slave working in a meat factory. The factory's owners run out of old treats, so they need to find a new one. The only problem is, it turns out that the new treat is you.
It was us!
Your goal is to escape and free as many others of your kind on the way, all whilst avoiding armed guards and traps. It's a really cool and different type of platformer, and actually quite dark compared to other games of that genre from that time.
In at number 9, we have Tomb Raider 2. In Tomb Raider 2, Miss Pointy Boob Lara Croft returns. The game includes new moves, weapons, and vehicles. The plot surrounds the mythical dagger of Jean, an ancient weapon used by the Chinese emperor to command his army. By stabbing yourself in the heart, the dagger has the power to turn you into a dragon. To be brutally honest, the game hasn't held up that well over the years, but it still holds a special place in my heart. And who can forget locking old Winston in the freezer, eh?
In at number 8, we have Tombi, or if you're in the US, Tomba. Tombi is a really cool and wacky platformer with beautiful visuals. A real hidden gem, you play Tombi, or Tomba, a pink-haired wild child, attempting to recover your grandfather's bracelet from a group of evil pigs. It was developed by Wookiee Camp, who also made a sequel which both got positive reviews from critics, but unfortunately they shut down after. It has a cult following. It's definitely worth playing, but it can be very, very pricey in today's market.
In at number 7, we have Medievil. Medievil is an action-adventure hack-and-slash video game. Set in the medieval kingdom of Galimere, it is centred around Sir Daniel Fortescue, who was killed in the first wave of attack of an epic battle. 100 years later, he is unknowingly revived by the game's antagonist Sarok. Having been unable to ascend to the fabled Hall of Heroes, Dan must use this opportunity to defeat Sarok, save Galimere, and earn his place in the Hall of Heroes. This game has a variety of weird and wacky levels. You're able to access a variety of weapons from clubs and swords to long-range weapons such as crossbows. Medieval is brilliantly and immensely fun to play. It also has a great sequel.
In at number 6, we have Silent Hill. Silent Hill is a classic survival horror, which went on to make several amazing sequels. In Silent Hill, you play as Harry Mason, searching for your missing adopted daughter in the American town of Silent Hill, quite possibly the worst city to be lost in a video game. The game has a terrifying, eerie and mysterious feel, where you'll be on edge all the time. It has a possible of 5 endings and has an amazing sequel, Silent Hill 2, which is probably one of the best survival horror games of all time.
In at number 5 we have Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Released in 1998 and developed by Naughty Dog, Crash Bandicoot 3 is one of my favourite platform games. This instalment allows you to control Crash and Coco, who must travel back in time and gather 25 crystals scattered across time, before the evil Dr. Cortex and the Uka Uka do so. Like the last 2 games, it's full of wacky, colourful and creative gameplay. A game you can really get to grips with and sink your teeth into. And who doesn't love the iconic Ooga Booga mask that follows you around whenever he is accessed? I love this franchise so much, I even got my very own tattoo. The game is still obviously held in high regard as it received a fully fledged remastering not so long ago.
In at number 4, we have Metal Gear Solid, a game that I'm sure would be in most people's top 10s. You play as the awesome, epic badass Solid Snake. Metal Gear Solid is one of the first proper stealth games, and it was a true game changer in terms of storytelling in video games. It has one of the best boss fights ever in the boss fight with Psycho Mantis. Metal Gear Solid is made by the genius Hideo Kojima. There's not a lot that can be said about this game that hasn't already been said, so on to the next game.
In at number 3 we have my all-time favourite game, Spyro Year of the Dragon. Spyro Year of the Dragon is a platformer video game which was developed by Insomniac Games in late October 2000. It features plucky protagonist Spyro and his trusty sidekick Sparx on yet another adventure to save dragonkind, this time from the clutches of the evil sorceress. Spyro must retrieve all 150 dragon eggs from the Forgotten Worlds if he is to return home victorious. Besides the primary quest, Year of the Dragon also offers minigames, which are split off from the main levels into small areas. My favourites are definitely the skateboarding minigames with Spyro's Pal Hunter. This is yet another game which has been held in high regard and has also earned itself another full remaster, which will be released in September this year. I'm super excited and I honestly can't wait. This definitely calls for a sick week off work.
In at number 2, we have Resident Evil 2. As a huge fan of survival horror and Resident Evil, this game was obviously going to be on this list, as in our opinion, it is the best Resident Evil game and the best survival horror game of all time. It took everything from the amazing first game and improved it immensely. You control either Leon S. Kennedy, a rookie cop arriving in a zombie-infested Raccoon City for his first day at work, or Claire Redfield, the younger sister of the previous game protagonist, Chris Redfield. I'm currently working my way through Resident Evil 2 Let's Play on our channel that you should definitely check out if you're a fan of this game. The game brings all new monsters such as the Lickers and the first female zombies, and the disgusting yet epic G, a G-virus infected William Birkin. Like a lot of games on this list, it is also getting a full remake that is coming out this January, and I cannot wait for it.
Before we unveil our number 1, here are a few of our honourable mentions.
Supermarket sweep. Days, then weeks blurred into one long, sorry afternoon chat show. The next thing I know, some government goons show up at my house.
In at number 1, we have Final Fantasy IX. Now I know what's coming. What? Final Fantasy IX and not Final Fantasy VII? Well no actually, because for us, Final Fantasy IX is the better game, and a lot of people who have played it will tell you the same thing. A lot of people I have this argument with will after admit, well, I haven't actually played Final Fantasy IX.
So what makes this game our all-time favourite PS1 game? Well, like most Final Fantasy games, it has amazing visuals, an intriguing story and epic villains. All 8 of the obtainable characters have their own in-depth backstory, motive and inspirations.
Although the visuals seem quite cartoonish and light-hearted, the story is actually quite dark and touches at some very sensitive subjects, such as the reason for existing, what happens after death, and there is even a case of mass genocide against one of the game's civilizations.
It has an amazing turn-based battle system where each character has their own unique class, such as Black Mage, White Mage, Thief, and so much more.
To this day, the graphics still hold up pretty well. I highly recommend you play this game if you haven't and you're a fan of classic JRPGs. It has tons of hours of gameplay, plenty of mini-games and side quests and treasure hunting to keep you busy. It also has plenty of replayability.
You've definitely got to love those chocoboros. You don't even need a PS1 to play, as you can now obtain it on the PS4 store, or even on your Vita, or even your PC.
So that concludes our top 10 PS1 games of all time. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed. Please let us know your favourites in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content. Also, follow us on Instagram @retrostitchgaming. Thanks for watching, and goodbye till next time.